Welcome back. We are coming out of the disillusionment phase for new teachers. During this phase, it is very common to second guess your instructional choices and to feel overwhelmed with your students' needs and to feel like nothing you're doing is working. Although this is the toughest phase of a new teacher, I want to encourage you to focus on your why. Why did you choose to be a teacher? For me, it was the light bulb moment. When a student, or now a teacher in this role, gets it, it clicked, it worked, it made a difference. So I hope you took time reflecting on your why, truly took a break in December to refresh. This month, during Sit Down with the Super, we will be meeting with Assistant Superintendent Ms. Jessica Addison. We will be back with Ms. Addison right after this.
Hunt Special Snow Spray. If the stress of the school day is getting to you and there is no snow day in sight, Hunt Special Snow Spray is for you. Spray Hunt's on the office windows and it's guaranteed to convince the superintendent to call an early release. Testing is in the works to ensure a full snow day. Try Hunt's Special Snow Spray today.
We are back with our Assistant Superintendent, Ms. Jessica Addison. Tell us a little bit about what you do in our district, what areas you support.
All right, so my primary focus is instruction, and so getting to support that pre-K all the way to high school. I also have a focus on elementary schools when it just comes to supporting the principal and supporting the leadership team. My support there is focused on the elementary schools and their principals, but typically instruction, and then that's my favorite.
And that's a big piece.
It is.
That's what we do, what we do
Right.
every
That's
day.
right.
Well, what is your definition of all in? What does that look like or sound like from a teacher's perspective?
So when I think about all in, I think about just the commitment and the level of drive that it takes to do this work and to stay committed every day, each and every day, to what's best for our students. And being willing to do whatever it takes to serve them well. It doesn't mean that I work 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. But when I'm at work, when I'm in that mode, that I'm giving it all I've got, and always trying to do what's best for kids.
Absolutely, and I think that's important that we distinguish that there is a separation between work and home, and that it doesn't necessarily mean you're taking hours and hours of work home with you, which a lot of our new teachers are doing, especially right now during this coming out of survival phase and into disillusionment. We're spending a lot of time planning, a lot of time preparing for classes, and questioning whether, are we doing what's right for students, and questioning our capability as educators. And so what are your tips for new teachers going through this disillusionment phase, whether it be with classroom management, whether it be with planning? What are some tips or some encouragement for those teachers?
So generally speaking, if you're feeling disillusioned about being a teacher and about just the profession, I think some of that is because a lot of us as educators want to get it all right all the time. And we want to see immediate results of all the work that we're putting in all the time. And sometimes education is slow work. And it's sometimes not, very rewarding on a daily basis, as far as you might not see big rewards or big gains for all the work you're putting in, or all the hours you're thinking or worrying or studying or planning. And so just to remember that it's a marathon, and that continuing to do the right work every day will eventually pay off. When I think about this time of year in classroom management and things of that nature, sometimes you can kind of hit a rut, and it's always good to think about going back and having a reset, having those just honest conversations with your students about, this is what we're here to do, this is what I want for you when you're here, and this is what that requires from you, and this is your part in that. And so let's reset as a class. Let's go back over expectations and the why that they're in place. But it's always okay to reset and refocus. And I think that's personally, professionally, to reset and refocus. Why are you here? Why do you do what you do? But with classroom management or anything like that, resetting even with your class is always helpful, I think.
So what are some things that you could tell to encourage teachers just to stay committed, to stick to the path? We're almost there. We've got this long kind of period before spring break with no breaks. And so what are some kind of things to keep teachers motivated from this point in this semester?
I think it's really important that we are intentional about looking for small wins and small successes, because sometimes I do think as a teacher we want to see the big things, but sometimes it's looking for those little wins along the way and taking time to celebrate those, either just personally, like quietly, reflectively, or out loud with your students or with a student. It might be having a partner, a peer teacher help you see those things. It might be your whoever's coaching you or an administrator just say, I'm really looking for some wins here, and if you're having trouble finding them, enlist help in finding those things. Even your students are great to say, what are we doing better now than we were in August?
Absolutely.
What do we know now that we didn't know then? Just to help find those little things to just, remind you that you're making a difference. It's just maybe a little bit at a time.
Absolutely. So we're going to end with the last question, and this one we've asked, we're asking all of our superintendents, but what is your why? Why do you do what you do every day for our district?
My why, I always go back to the value of education, and knowing that for me as an individual, having a quality education and having people that invested in me changed my life. And, my parents had high expectations for me. I had high expectations for myself. But if I'd gone to school or been in a school system where no one had high expectations for me, or no one laid the groundwork for me to go to the next level, then, I may not have been as successful as I am. And I know that played a big part in me being able to do what I do. And so I think about the students we serve is my why, because our students and students all over need adults that will advocate for them. Some students need that more than others. Some students get that in the home, but some don't. And so for us to show up every day advocating for what's best for kids, even when it's not super convenient for adults, but really putting kids at the center is my why. And if we can make a difference and be advocates for our students being their best selves and reaching their fullest potential, that's enough to keep me going every day. And hopefully we're doing that one kid at a time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks
I
for
really
having me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We will be back right after this.
Benzoyl Super Strength Headache Powder. Have a student that is never absent, maybe several? Benzoyl Super Strength Headache Powder can get you through the day. Take immediately after taking roll in the morning, and it will last throughout the day.
I think so.
Well, welcome back. Today we are meeting with our district special ed consultants to see what kind of services and supports they can provide you as teachers. So we'll just start at this end. Just introduce yourself, your name, if you support certain schools or have certain specialty areas that you work with.
I'm Paula Snorton, and I am a special education consultant here in the district, and the school that I do support is Freedom Elementary School.
My name is Amy Day, and I am a special education consultant. I service Christian County High School, Christian County Middle School, and Bluegrass Learning Academy.
I'm Dina Oliver. I'm a consultant for Hopkinsville High School and Hopkinsville Middle School. In my area would be post-secondary transition.
You guys have a much larger department than what's here. So who are we missing?
Absolutely. Well, we're under the leadership of Michelle Ladd, who is our directress, and Tammy Buckingham, who is our assistant directress. We make up a total of 9 consultants total. We have 2 part-time that's amongst all of us as well. We have consultants for each area. We've got middle school, we've got high school, starting at preschool. We started preschool. We've got Keisha Wilkerson, who focuses on preschool. Then we've got Jenny Gossi, who focuses on our moderate to severe students with disabilities. And then we have, of course, Amy and Dina, who focus on middle and high school. And then we've got our elementary level. I didn't go in any order, but we've got our elementary consultants. That would be myself, Corey Beatty, and Bonnie Mills, who focuses on those. We have Shannon Sanders, who is our part-time consultant, as well as Deanna Dixon, who comes in and helps us part-time to certain schools in the elementary level.
So we got all the bases covered.
Yes.
A fabulous team.
Absolutely.
Working so hard with our students and our teachers. So I'm thankful that you're here, because I think a lot of our teachers get a little, they have some misunderstandings about who to ask questions to for what, and if you guys can support our gen ed teachers as well.
Absolutely.
And that sort of thing. So let's talk about what supports you can provide. How do you support SPED teachers, and how do you support gen ed teachers?
Well, we go in and we support SPED teachers with writing IEPs, with co-teaching, with supports in their resource classroom, with behavior management, all kinds of, you name it, new teachers. We support our new teachers who need that backup, that backbone to be able to get into their classrooms, and we supported them to be successful in their classroom. So we're there for them in any area that they may need. It doesn't just stop right there. Whatever they need, we're there to support. We're there to support.
And you guys do a lot of trainings in the summer.
Absolutely.
We've done a lot of that. So is that fair game for anybody? Like, are there some trainings geared for teachers who may have a co-lab teacher in their room, so they could come with them and kind of learn how to work with them with co-teaching and
sure.
teaching their students, but then there's some for specialized areas as well?
Yes, and that is something that we're working on really big for this summer, is looking at
Great.
that co-teaching model and that training for both our general ed and our special ed teachers to come together and learn it together so that they can bring it into the general ed classroom and really be have a successful model.
Absolutely.
I know we're trying to implement a lot more of that even now, but we hope by the summertime that we'll have both our general ed and our special ed together, trained together to be able to have that supportive model in the classroom.
Definitely impactful for sure.
And we're
Yeah.
supporting on, a lot with accommodations right now.
Oh, yes.
Training our students with disabilities to use their accommodations. So we're available to provide the support for that.
Awesome, absolutely. And what are some common accommodations? What are some, when you say that word, what does that mean?
Well, that means, students with disabilities have qualified for some extra supports to help them be successful in the classroom. So that could
It's
be
a
a
level player
reader.
build. Yeah.
Our students could have a reader, and that reader could be someone who reads to them to help them be successful in the classroom. It could be an online reader where it's not a human reader, but they will have a computer or some type of device that will read to them. It could be a scribe, someone who writes for them. Extended time, where we provide students additional time if they didn't have time to complete the test and they're using their time efficiently, then they can have an additional time, or what is actually called time and a half or double time. So they can have that much time more to help complete their assignments. It could also be that they have reinforcement and behavior modification strategies, and that's where a student may require lots of break time to be able to complete something. We don't want them rushing through something without really thinking through it, but provide some breaks in between to help them
Small
be able
group
to.
testing.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Small group testing, yes. All of that could be reinforcement behavior strategies.
We're in the process of applying for ACT accommodations now for our sophomores and juniors.
Oh, that's great.
And if they're approved by ACT, the accommodations, they're reportable, ACT college reportable, so it's very important we give them the accommodations they need.
That's nice.
And
And
also, we just finished the AP accommodations, because
That's
we do
good.
have some students who are in AP
Yes.
classes, and they are very successful with their accommodations.
that's awesome. And it's great to see that that can carry them throughout. And as a teacher, whether I'm a gen ed teacher or a sped teacher, but to find them, or if I'm a gen ed teacher, to find those, I can see those on Infinite Campus or on their IEPs.
Oh,
So if you have questions about that, please don't hesitate to ask. We want to make sure our students are getting the supports that they need for sure to be successful. Well, do you have any tips for our teachers, sped or gen ed? Like, do you have any tips for our teachers when working with students with disabilities, or how to grow in their repertoire, like having some tools in their toolbox to help those students in their classrooms?
Number one is be flexible.
Sure.
Follow the IEP. If you don't understand the IEP, please ask either a consultant or their caseload manager, and they'll be able to break that down for you. We always give resources to our general ed teachers and give them an open invitation that they can come and talk to us anytime they need to during the school year, and we can help them provide the accommodations in the classroom.
If we don't know an answer, we will find out.
Absolutely.
We've got lots of people willing to do.
One thing that we are doing at County High and County Middle with the special education teachers is that we're having joint meetings between the two staffs so that those teachers can better support our students when they're transitioning from middle school to high school. It helps the teachers determine what strategies will help the students be successful when they transition, and the teachers get to learn new strategies to introduce to their own classrooms, things that they may not have considered before. The teachers have been very successful, and they really seem to enjoy doing this.
I love that, because it's a team effort and it's a seamless transition for them when they go on to the next year. We want to make that as smooth as possible. Were you going to say something too?
Oh, yes, I would just like to add to our general ed teachers to just making sure that you are aware and that you know your students' accommodations that are in your classroom. Please also know that our students with disabilities are general ed students first. And as our director says, they just so happen to have a disability, but they are general ed students first, so we want to treat them as such and know their accommodations so that they can be successful in your classroom. At this moment in time, you should know accommodations, so stand firm to the students' accommodations and provide them so that they can be successful in your classrooms. And if you have a question about accommodations, you can ask your caseload manager, your special education teacher, or you can ask the consultant in your building that supports the school. So please use the accommodations, firm up on them.
Absolutely, great tips. I appreciate that very much.
Thanks,
So,
Ariana.
well, thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. If you do have questions, specific questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to one of the consultants or or special education teacher in your building that's working with your grade level or your content area. We appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you.
We'll be back right after this. Mother Nature's Hotline. Now you can text your weather wishes to Mother Nature. Simply text, "I need a snow day ASAP" to 2727. Make sure to write down your confirmation number and present it to your administrator. Mother Nature is very busy this time of year, so please allow a 24-hour window. Today we are here with the district digital learning coaches. We have Chris Tyson, Shay Walker, and Chris Malick. So before we get started, do you guys have any specialty areas that you are like specifically trained in, or certain schools or anything that you support?
Who wants to start? Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I'm Chris Nalick. I'm one of our digital learning coaches. I mainly focus on our digital media creation, green screen, filming. If you guys have a lesson or something you wanted to incorporate some green screen or student film in, we can do that. And I'm our ViewSonic person, so if you want to dive a little deeper into ViewSonic boards, we can set up a time to meet. We can come in during your planning or after school, before school, and help you out however we can.
Nice.
My name's Shay Walker. I've been a digital learning coach now, I think it's my 18th year. And it's changed quite a bit, but some of the things that I've been really resourceful with that can help you if you're looking for web tools or lessons or things to integrate in your classroom, I've been pretty resourceful for that. Also, HMH has been one of the products that I've helped teachers quite a bit with. Also, Florida Virtual, which is a fairly new program that we have for our online learners. I'm kind of the person that handles the coursework for that as well. But I mean, you know, if you need help with Google Classroom or Canvas issues, I can do that as well. But you know, I also can assist with ViewSonic, even though he's more the expert on that, so, or digital video and media creation. So,
I'm Chris Tyson Renshaw. I do a lot of work with productivity software. So in the Google Suite, do work with project-based learning all the way from kindergarten through high school.
Nice. Well, thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. So tell us, what can you do specifically to help new teachers? We've got a lot of new technology, a lot of new folks. What are some things that you can do to help them kind of build their toolbox?
Usually our first contact with new teachers involves GoGuardian. It's a classroom management tool that works with Chromebooks. And that's usually our first contact where we learn how their classroom functions and their content functions,
Nice.
which then leads to further conversations of how to integrate digital learning across their classroom.
So GoGuardian, that's the thing where you can like see all your students' computers. Is that the thing? No?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It does a lot of things. You
Okay.
can use it as a monitoring tool. You can use it as a positive feedback tool. You can use it to differentiate within groups. Like if you have centers set up in your classroom, you can also use it to focus students on something. If you're looking at a concept that maybe has something that's difficult to spell, or you want to focus them to specific websites, not everything on the web, GoGuardian allows the teacher to have a little more control over that.
Nice. So like YouTube and music and stuff, you can.
Yeah, but you can use the YouTube videos you want, not
from
just
the others.
wide open.
Gotcha. Nice. What are some other things? Do you get to co-teach with teachers? Do you get to help them kind of plan? Or what are some other things you can do to support them?
we've done a lot of co-teaching in the past and also presently worked with some schools more than others. But basically how that works is that if you're a new teacher and you want us to come in and co-teach, you just need to reach out to us at dlc@christian.kyschools.us, or you can reach us individually. The DLC email goes to all of us.
Okay.
And we can set up a time to meet with you and then try to take a look at what your objectives are for that class and see if we can help find some technology resources. For example, last year we worked quite a bit with Indian Hills in a 6th grade classroom on a weekly basis, was it, I think? Yeah, weekly, at least bi-weekly. I know we came quite a bit, and we were actually teaching them during the fall the changes in the persimmon seeds, but yet we infused Google Sheets and taught them some basics of Google Sheets in there. So sometimes we bring technology in the back door without them knowing that. But if you want to do something like that, all you got to do is reach out to us and try to give us a little bit of time, as our schedules allow. We can come into any classroom, anytime. Kindergarten, we work with kindergartners all the way through 12th grade, it doesn't matter. And we'll do our best to try to help make that transition to using technology in your classroom a little bit easier. And so we'll take your current lessons and try to build upon it.
Okay, do you guys have any tips for teachers? Coming in, it's a lot to take in. We have a lot of emergency certified teachers even. So Canvas, Google, all those things. Do you have any tips for teachers? Take-wise?
My biggest one would probably be trust yourself. Find projects that are something that's engaging to you, that you're excited about, and integrate technology there first. We can build upon that moving forward, and you do have the power, you have the ability to find those answers. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. We're here not only as an ally and a resource in building lessons, but if you want to handle your content and let us handle the techie stuff because that makes you nervous, we're happy to do that too. We're happy to be on both sides of that. Like, we're happy to co-teach, we're happy to model, to set those pieces up. We're also happy to build that piece to make it the longevity piece of it, of where do we want to start and where do we want to go. You may want to fly drones or run robots in the end, but let's do some coding work along the way that integrates into your math class, or that talks about the careers that fall with that. And so we're happy to be there for the long haul, not just a pop in, pop out scenario.
And that's nice to know too, because sometimes it is intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it is intimidating for you're learning all this other stuff. You've got Canvas, but can you integrate tech tools into that? And how do you make it just more fun for kids, more engaging for kids, for sure?
Well, and there is no such thing as a stupid question. Like, the only question is the one that never gets asked, because I assure you, if you have it, somebody else has it.
I'm sure. And we could probably get some questions. If they have specific questions, you can reach out to them individually. Reach out to us. We'll get answers for you. All right. Anything else that you'd like to share?
Tech exchange, I think, is our big piece.
Yes, that's a great way for our teachers to get involved and grow.
Absolutely. Every year in the summer, this year it's July 20th.
Okay.
Tech exchange meets Teach Meet this summer. Teach Meet is a concept that comes to the U.S. from Europe that has historically been held at Murray State. And we're excited to partner with Murray State as well as KDE to move that to Christian County Middle School because of our awesome facility, but we feel like we will be able to increase our numbers of the opportunity for our teachers to participate, but even more so, our teachers are going to have the opportunity to showcase what's happening in our schools. And so you're going to have the opportunity to present this summer as well as attend sessions. And the cool thing is Tech Exchange meeting Teach Meet is going to lead to a couple of different formats. So there's going to be a lot of 20-minute things that day. Kind of think of it as speed dating for professional development.
Nice.
In terms of being able to grasp a concept and think, I want more of that, or maybe I don't want more of that, and can move on. And then there will be some 1 hour, some deeper conversations that maybe we don't always get to in PD. We hope it won't have a lot of sit and get, and will be a whole lot more hands-on and things you can take back to your classroom.
Awesome. And so you said July 20th. It's one day at County Middle?
County Middle,
Christian County Middle.
6 hours of PD. Last year there were over $10,000 in door prizes. It will have teachers and administrators from everywhere the Penny Royal Parkway west.
Nice. And so if they do have something they think would be great to share, present on, can they reach out to you guys? Is there going to be an application process? How does that work?
Absolutely. So this is a beautiful process that's collaborative across West Kentucky. It's not just us.
Right.
And so we will be pushing out details regarding how to sign up, how to fill out the Google form to get on the matrix. But you'll be presenting alongside people from other districts, other schools.
That's exciting.
It is.
That's
It's very
great.
exciting.
And she made a good point. In the past, we've always had the technology exchange just exclusively, for the most part, for our district. We brought in some other vendors or other teachers or other even DLCs from other parts of the state. But this year, we're going to have the opportunity to meet with a whole lot. It's going to be a totally different format. So we really need a lot of good participation and people showing. And I think if you've been to it in the past, this one's going to be a lot different. We were selected how many of the teaching mates are there?
There's only 5 across the state.
Five across the whole state. We're hosting one of them here, so we're pretty excited about this as we're beginning our planning stages of that. So
nice. Well, thank you guys for being here. And again, do you have anything to add?
No.
All right. Well, again, if you have questions for them, you can reach out individually, or you can reach out and email dlc@christian.kyschools.us. Thank you so much.